Well, good morning and welcome to Garden Therapy. It is now open. Come on in. Sit down and put your feet up and let's have some coffee and watch a video together. Welcome, this is Laura from McLeod Homestead. And we've had some nice cooler weather and today it's hot again. Even with the fan and everything going, I don't know if you can see it, but it's about 90 degrees in the greenhouse. But I have not had a chance to be over here in probably about 4 days, 3-4 days. So it's just been open up the greenhouse, turn the fans on, go do what I've had to go do. So we're gonna do a little walk around and see how things are and go from there. Now, I'm sure you can see in here, my plants tonight, they're gonna need drinks. They are thirsty. Look at all them Hungarian peppers. But that plant's thirsty. So, let's head on outside. First, let's take a look. These are pumpkins. The plants are looking pretty good, other than a few leaves there I'll have to trim. I do have here pumpkin growing. These are big Max pumpkins. I've got a few pumpkins, real small, finally coming out. This is the biggest bush of them. But when you look underneath, I don't see pumpkins. But if I get a few, I'll just be happy. So, let's take a look in here. Oh, the old pea plants are pretty much all played out. I picked most of them the other day. But I got a bunch of new little ones coming up. And they look good. So, I have some weeds over here I gotta clean out, so I'll leave that open. And come over here to my hydroponics. Started some more in the barrel. Looking good. This is zucchini. That's a spaghetti squash. I don't know. I probably won't have time, but it's one of those things you won't know unless you try. Another zucchini. And this is another spaghetti squash. So, they're looking good. They're growing. Much bigger than they were a couple days ago. So, let's come over here. And I have not had a chance to fertilize anything in probably about 2 weeks. So, I really need to do that too. Got a couple spaghetti or spinach there. Onions are looking good. Artichoke plants looking good now that it's cooled down. Again, more onions. Swiss chard, gotta pick some of that. Anything that these plants over here produce is just an added bonus. Okay, I had technical difficulties yesterday, but I've got green beans coming up in my raised bed for my fall garden. Brussels sprouts are doing good over here. And, you know, I am going to pull a couple of these purple carrots just to see what's going on. So let's see. Let's pull this one. It's not bad. I can handle that. So let's pick another. Little chubby. Short and chubby. And probably because of how confined I had them. They're all still edible to me. Look at that. Single bite one. This is my first year ever really doing carrots. That one looks like a complete screw up to me. Doesn't even smell right. Alright. Another one. So let's go ahead. We're going to pick them all because this is where I want to put some garlic. So, pull the weeds out. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get this all cleaned up. I have beets coming up that I just planted right there. I will separate them. There's more over there. Can't probably really see them. And I went to the garden without you guys. Completely forgot what I was doing. Look at that little tiny tomato. Completely forgot what I was doing and got sidetracked and went and did everything in the garden without bringing you along. But radishes I'm trying in a pot. If it works out, these are supposed to be 30-day ones. If it works out, probably do them again in the greenhouse. All depends on the weather. Okay, so here's some of what I got out of the garden. Like 7 or 8 zucchinis, some tomatoes. You see, obviously some peas. I did a good picking on beans yesterday. And these are the purple carrots. And then there's some peas and stuff at the bottom of that one. While I'm over here, what I'm going to do is I am going to clean some of these carrots up, cut the tops off. That way, because my compost bin is over here. And then this way, I can put it right in my compost and make it a lot easier to clean them up in the house. So I'm just going to go through, and I don't know what the proper procedure is, but I just cut them at the top there and just kind of cut this off. And that's what I'm going to go through and do with them all. Gives me something to do over here and enjoy my plants and the peace and quiet from the kids. And I really love my garden therapy room. I really wish I had an idea of how I could definitely heat it to grow peas and beans at least throughout the winter. I don't have electricity over here. I can't keep an extension cord over here through the winter. It just wouldn't work. I don't have solar panels, so if anybody has an idea of how I can heat this space, then I would love to know. It is 21 by 14, so it's not exactly little. But I will meet up with you when I'm done cleaning the carrots. Okay, now it isn't a whole lot. You know, some decent size at the top, but not very long. You know, stubby. Some really small ones. Is it a major success? Absolutely not. Is it a major fail? Absolutely not. That right there is my family's probably 2 meals. Possibly 3 if I mix it with something. Am I going to complain? Nope. Not at all. Because something is better than nothing. So I am not going to complain. Will I try them again? Absolutely, 100%. So, and I did also pick a pepper. And I got a cucumber. I picked more of them this morning. I picked a bunch of cucumbers and the little gherkins. These Hungarian peppers, doing awesome. They're doing awesome in here. My basil plants are coming back, getting bigger leaves. So, yep. Things are going good. Got a nice big peppers on this one over here. These are Hungarian. Thought they were sweet. They're not. They're hot. But if I do a mix with a sweet brine, it does take the, as you can see, it is about that time to start bringing in all my decorations. Oh, we haven't emptied our rain gauge. So now we'll start that all over. But my peas, I've got more coming up here. Got some still growing. Many have died that I pulled out. So that, I have no idea what kind of a squash that is. Thanks to my chickens. Again, look at that little tiny plant. But it giving me a pea. And then you got this big one that looks gorgeous. It's funny how right next to each other or within certain areas they can be great, big, and strong. This is actually 3 different plants. And then you can have one that looks like that. And they came out of the same seed packet. And then we come over to this one. And again, nice, big, and strong. And I did a good picking on these yesterday, so there won't be too many of them today. And I have 2 different kinds of peas running around, growing. Some are the snow peas, and some of them are just the regular peas. Pumpkins that didn't do much. There was a strawberry squash, didn't do much, so I didn't even bother to keep it weeded back here. This is a basil plant that had flowered. Hasn't given up. It's still growing. I'm just leaving it there. These are doing awesome. These are in hydroponics. Doing awesome. And again, chickens were over here today. I see. They got out today, so I just let them have fun. But pumpkins, I see some more pumpkins down in there. These peas are all growing, coming in good. Still have some stragglers from the spring. Believe it or not, every once in a while I still get a pea off of them. And until they're brown, I just let them grow. This is asparagus that hopefully next year we'll get some off of. More of the pumpkin. Cardoons actually, I guess, became more of a decoration than anything. Don't know what kind of squash plant this is, but I've got a little one. Thank you, chickens, again. To me, it almost looks like an acorn. Guess we'll find out. Well, folks, I gotta say, garden therapy is now closed for the day. Thank you all for coming by. Until next time, toodles!